YouTube, welcome back to another video. My name is Tish. If you are new to my channel, welcome. In today's video, I want to share with you a couple of recipes that I've been loving throughout my week. The second one in particular has been my go-to bowl this week. So yeah, of course I wanted to share it with you guys. As always, I have attempted to use as many seasonal local vegetables as possible. Eating seasonally for me just feels right, it tastes better, and it keeps things fun and exciting and brand new in my kitchen. So yeah, I'm really inspired by eating what is grown local and what is in season. It just feels right for my body all round. So if you guys happen to try out any of the recipes, please tag me on my Instagram at Tish Wonders. Let me know how the recipes go in the comment section below. If you have anything to ask me, drop me a question. Hope you guys enjoy this one. Let's get straight into the first recipe. Let's go. So the first recipe is a dreamy, creamy butternut squash pasta bake. This is so delicious. There are so many layers, so many different flavors, and I guarantee you guys are going to love it. Begin by chopping up the butternut squash. It's actually a lot easier to peel the skin off at this point, but I just wanted to make things extra difficult for myself. Yeah, I scored the butternut squash very faintly and I placed it in a hot oven of about 210 degrees for around 45 to 55 minutes. So peel and finely dice the shallots and the garlic. Using a hand grater, grate the ginger. I always find that using a hand grater really releases all the juices and the flavors in the ginger. Chop up some leeks and dice up some mushrooms too. So to prepare the butternut squash filling, heat some coconut oil in a pan and go ahead and add the leeks, the shallots, and give everything a good mix. Place in the ginger and the garlic, followed on by some dried sage and some dried thyme and some dried oregano. You guys know I love my dried herbs, fresh herbs, just herbs are everything. So yeah, don't be afraid to use an abundance of herbs, especially for a dish like this. So place the chopped mushrooms into the pan, followed on by a splash of tamari, mixing everything down until the ingredients is soft and all of the flavors are just smelling great and everything is combined. Remove the butternut squash from the oven. It will be sweet and caramelized and just delicious. Scoop it out of the skin if you need to and place it into the food processor because we're going to make our creamy butternut squash sauce. So place it in the food processor along with some Brazil nuts. It's best to soak your Brazil nuts overnight as you want to soak them for as long as possible. Some paprika, some sea salt, a good helping of black pepper, of course, some onion powder, a couple of cloves of garlic, a Scotch bonnet or a chili, and a date to just sweeten everything up. And lastly, some coconut milk, full fat coconut milk, because we want it creamy and rich and smooth and delicious. Once everything is smooth, you can go ahead and add it to the frying pan, which should actually be on a low heat at this stage, and just mix everything together and gently simmer for around 5 to 10 minutes. I added some more black pepper at this stage as well. So place your pasta of choice on to cook. I use some brown rice pasta. Pour in the butternut squash sauce and mix everything very gently. So you then want to place your pasta into an oven dish, just making sure everything is even. If you would like to top the butternut squash pasta bake with some crispy kale, follow this step. So take some torn kale, place it into a large bowl and simply massage it with a teeny bit of sea salt and a drizzle of olive oil. Place the kale on top of the pasta bake, making sure it's all covered. If you don't want kale and you want something a little different, you can actually use some breadcrumbs. Now I only had panko breadcrumbs. You can use whatever breadcrumbs you have on hand, and yeah, place the pasta bake into an oven. So once the pasta bake is cooked and the kale is crispy, or if you use breadcrumbs and the breadcrumbs are crispy, you can go ahead and plate it up. This recipe has so many hints of different flavors and textures, and it's one of my favorite kind of go-to sauces at the moment. It's super delicious. So the second recipe is a crispy turmeric spiced cauliflower bowl with lemon and kale, quinoa and wild garlic pesto and steamed greens and avocado. So to make this delicious plate of food, we are going to start off by preparing the cauliflower. So make sure you give it a good wash and place it into a mixing bowl along with some black pepper, some oregano, some turmeric, some paprika, some garlic powder, and a splash of olive oil to make sure that it crisps up in the oven deliciously. So go ahead and place the cauliflower pieces on a flat baking tray, ideally lined with some parchment paper, and place into an oven to cook. If you are cooking the quinoa from soaked, just be mindful that you won't need as much water and the quinoa will cook a lot faster. Heat some coconut oil in a pan. Go ahead and add some red onions, some garlic, followed on by the curly kale, and give everything a good mix. Splash on a little bit of tamari. So I chose to put in a handful of raisins. I just think it makes everything really sweet and delicious. And then I squeezed in the lemon juice and I added the cooked quinoa to the pan, just mixing everything on a low heat. And you will smell at this point how good everything is smelling. The cauliflower is smelling good, the quinoa is smelling good. Remove the cauliflower from the oven and place in some greens to steam if you want to. I chose to use some purple sprouting broccoli and some pak choy that I had on hand, and then I served my plate up. So I served up the quinoa, followed on by the steamed greens, the crispy cauliflower bites, and some chopped avocado in the middle. I also poured on top some wild garlic and parsley pesto. Wild garlic is in season at the moment. I am always talking about it on my Instagram stories and I am obsessed with it. So definitely try it out if you spot it in a farmer's market by you. I hope you guys liked these recipes. Like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.